Hey everybody, Mr. Klein coming to you here from Mr. Klein Studios in the heart of the G-Wing. And today we're going to be looking at some calculator skills. Now the problems you're going to see on this worksheet, they ask you about inverse functions, right? And so we're going to answer a couple of questions about inverse functions, but really the goal is I want to make sure you know how to use this calculator. So let's look at the first one. It says use the horizontal line test to determine whether this function right here has an inverse. So the first skill that you need on your calculator is the ability to type the equation in. I'm going to assume you've done this before. Okay, so get that loaded in. Now, I really want to encourage you to do the calculator functions with me as I talk through them. If you just watch the video, it's not going to stick. If you actually look at the machine right here and hit the buttons, then it's going to make sense. All right. So first thing I want to make sure you know how to do is how to get the standard window. The standard window is the one that runs from -10 to 10 in the x direction and from -10 to 10 in the y direction. And you'll see me write it this way. And there's a really quick way to get that on your calculator. You hit the zoom button and you scroll on down until you see number 6, which is z standard. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And we should see a function appear. And that function looks a little bit like this. And we notice that this guy fails the horizontal line test. A horizontal line will hit it at more than one place. So our conclusion is no, this has no inverse. Cool. That one out of the way. Let's take a look at B. B says use the horizontal line test to do the same thing, but this time we have a function with absolute value in it. Okay, so let's talk about how you use the absolute value button. You're going to come back to y1, and you are going to hit the clear button, and that whole equation is going to disappear. Now, you need to find absolute value, and you'll do that by coming on down to where it says math, hit math, and then scroll over right here on the top menu using your arrow to number. And you'll notice that the first option says abs. And if you hit that, you are going to get your absolute value. Let's type in the 3x minus 65. And then let's do that one more time. Minus math over 1 abs 2x. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit the graph button. And of course, if we hit the graph button, we're going to be on the exact same window from -10 to 10. And here we go. And that little swirly do there says that it's graphing. And I don't see anything. What happened? Where is the graph? Well, the answer is that it's not on this window. It's up here in this case. And so if you want to find a better window, a really good thing to do is use the table. So first you're going to hit second table set. And let's begin at 0. And this right here tells you what the table is going to move by. Let's suppose we make that 5. And then you're going to hit second table. And you'll see that it gives us, here's our x values moving by 5, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. And then over here, this is the corresponding y values. I'll notice that the y values start up around 65. That's why we couldn't see it, right? We were only going up to 10. The graph was way up here at 65. And then it goes down for a while, and then it looks like it starts to come up again. All right. So I think I'm going to go all the way to 100. So x is going to be 0 to 100, meaning that I want, actually, let's go -10 to 100 in the x direction. Bum, 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 bum. And then in the y direction, here around 45, back, oh, let me move over here. Looks like it gets down somewhere around -40. And then here up to, I don't know, we'll go to like 60 or 70. So right here for my window, let's go, x is going to go from -10, notice I hit the window button, to 100. And then in the y direction, let's go -50 to 100. All right, Now that we've got our window here, I'm going to hit graph. And there's our function. And it's kind of funky looking. It's got these little pieces to it. Ba-boom, ba-boom, and ba-boom. And you'll notice that because it changes direction from decreasing to increasing right here, bump, 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 fails the horizontal line test, no inverse. One more. Let's go to C. On C, we're going to hit square root of x minus 7 plus 20 times the square root of x minus 1. And before I even bother graphing it, I think I'm going to go to the table. I'm just going to look at what's happening to the values. Error, 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 error. Hey, we're getting an error because we're getting negative numbers inside the square root, right? So once we get to 10, it looks like the numbers start to appear. And as x is getting bigger here, the y values look like they're getting pretty big. So I might go something like from 0 to let's go 0 to 100 on the x-axis. And if we were going to do that, that would mean that on the y-axis, we need to go from bigger than 200 to about 60. I'll do 0 so we can see the axis. So this axis, we're going to go from 0 to, we'll go a little bigger than 200. We'll go 250. So I'll go to my window, 0, 100, 0, 250. Hit that graph button. Okay, and notice that that thing is always increasing, which means it passes the horizontal line test. So hallelujah, guess what? This one has an inverse.